Welcome to Nashville Realtors podcast with Brandon Hanna Properties, discussing everything you need to know for Nashville real estate. And here are your hosts for Nashville's Realtor, Brandon Hanna and Alec Lehman, your experts in everything Nashville real estate. And now for part 2 of Real Estate Investing 101.
So what types of investments in real estate can you do? The sky's the limit.
Yep.
Think about all the different types of real estate: land, commercial, short-term rentals, which is a whole another day's discussion.
We won't touch that.
Short-term rentals include second homes. Think about beach houses in Florida. You want a beach house in Florida? There's a way to get a beach house in Florida for free. And that sounds ridiculous and maybe dreamy, but it actually is very doable.
Exactly.
Cabins, ski resorts, all those types of things. All what we call short-term rentals, where they don't stay, you're not booking a long-term tenant like 6-12 months.
Sure.
And then you have long-term, tenants, long-term investments where you're buying a house in a town nearby where you live with the goal of getting a long-term tenant in there to just make
Exactly. And a little less risky is what they say, right? They say
That's right.
it's a little less risky to buy something near you, something that you can put your hands on, you can see it, and see who's there. And, it's somebody that's entered into a lease maybe of, a year, 5 years or something like that. And they say it's a little less risky, but the return of a short-term rental could be, more. So it just kind of depends on how
more work, more risk, and usually a little more reward. And then so we've hit who can invest in real estate. We've hit what types of real estate you can invest into. And then I feel like the third component is how do you make money? And this is something that we've seen personally play out with investment properties. We've seen it play out for clients. But if you really boil it down, you make money on real estate in 3 ways. While you own it, that tenant is paying your rent. So they're paying down your mortgage for you with that rent payment.
No monthly payments for you.
If you've gotten a good enough deal on the house and your monthly payments are low enough, then you will make a little money on just cash, what we call cash flowing each month, which means your rent is higher than what your expenses are. Okay. So you have that little margin of profit. So they're paying down your mortgage plus a little bit of profit each month. So you're making some money while you own it. Well, then hopefully the property's appreciating some. We've seen years where it didn't, so it's not guaranteed. But that appreciation goes up, and then you make the third way to make money is when you sell it. The property has appreciated, your loan amount's gone down.
And you haven't put anything into it because they paid your mortgage, right?
And it's I've paid it down for you.
Yeah.
So we will, when we sit down with the clients and look at it from an investment standpoint, those are the 3 things we analyze. How much are we going to make while we own it in those 2 categories? And then in the third category, what's it going to look like if you held it for 3 years, 5 years, 7 years? And you can kind of play out a pro forma to really see, okay, is this something I want to be into or not? And then, so I won't go into too much detail today, but there's so much more to cover. Let's say you own an investment property already and you want to sell it, but you're afraid of paying the taxes. There's a way to defer the capital gains taxes and not have to pay them. And in fact, there's a way to defer it into infinity. You can do it the way our tax laws are set up now. You can do it as many times as you want to. It's a really great tool. We've used them, our clients have used them. And if you don't understand the benefits and the pitfalls, you can get yourself in trouble and end up with a really high tax bill. But the law's there for a reason.
There was one thing that we were talking about actually today. Maybe you don't have, maybe you're not a good saver, but maybe you have like this little chunk of money that you're like, well, I would like to go, but it's maybe not quite enough to go and buy, a rental property or, a short-term rental or a piece of something. Tell us a little bit about that, what you were talking about today, partial mortgages.
Okay, so most people who own real estate have a mortgage, right? They borrow money from the bank. The bank will lend you money that's secured by the house, meaning if you don't pay them back, they're going to take your home, foreclosure. Saw lots of those happen in 2009 and 10. So, but the bank usually will hedge their positions really strongly. They want you to put down as much down payment as you can. They'll check your credit score. Think about all the hoops you jump through to get a loan, right? So there is a way that we can help our clients invest not in the real estate itself. You don't have to worry about the tenants, toilets, and trash, but invest in the mortgage that's backed by the real estate. And so, like Alec was saying, maybe you don't have enough for a down payment. But you have a little bit that you want to invest, and you like real estate because it's secure, you like the payments. You basically buy a portion of the mortgage. They pay you back a certain percentage each year.
And that's a locked percentage.
It's a locked percentage when you go into
no
the deal.
fluctuation. It's not riding any market or anything like that. It's a set percentage.
And you will see the specific house in that city on that street.
That's cool. So you could go to it and say, okay, I own, 3% or 5% or 1% of that house.
So like any real estate investment, there is risk involved. What if that owner stops paying the mortgage? Okay, so then you have to go through a foreclosure process. But the beauty of buying a partial mortgage is there is somebody else on the back end that actually takes care of that foreclosure process. You get your money back that you invested into it, and you get to buy into another situation. So there can be some upside on the foreclosure process, which we can talk through details. But there are so many vehicles to put your money into in the real estate world. So I think the biggest thing to take away from today is it can be for anyone, and it can be a variety of options. I mean, people kind of put real estate investing into a box, but there are so many alternatives. We haven't talked about real estate investment trusts, stocks backed by real estate, all these different things. And you want to diversify your portfolio because things can happen. But at the end of the day, if real estate is something that interests you, a lot of you already own real estate, then this can be a great way to make it work for you.
Exactly, make it work for you. And it is so interesting to see the different ways to do it. And we were talking today about, there are certain ways to where, say you've got an IRA and you're just like, listen, I love the real estate game. Maybe the market that you're in is booming. There are ways to transfer, we're not saying do it, not do it, consult your, financial planner, whoever.
But we want to give you the options.
Exactly. We want to make sure that it is an option to move some of your IRA over to a real estate product, over to real property.
Yep. It's a really cool tool, and it's actually easier than you think. So, and you can have some real estate in your retirement portfolio if you like it.
That's kind of
Thanks
fun.
for joining us. I think there'll be some other good content to come. So
there definitely will be. And please, if there's any other questions or anything like that, he gave you our emails earlier. Again, it's Brandon Hanna at BrandonHanna.com, Alec at BrandonHanna.com, Brandon at BrandonHanna.com. And please, we would love to hear any questions, any topic that you would want to hear about. Honestly, we would take anything and talk about it. We sit here in this office and we talk about all these things, and in our heads we do it every single day, and so it's normal for us.
So
but
that's the goal
for other people. We want to get it out and say, listen, let us help you. Let us inform you. He's been doing it for 17 years now. So been through the ups and then the crazy down of the recession, and then our market obviously here in Nashville is doing very well again. So you've seen it all, and I've got to see some of it and learn from you obviously. And so it's been such a ride, and it's fun.
So we're going to bring you behind the scenes for all these conversations we have in the office. We thought, why not? It's relevant. It's fun. Everybody likes watching HGTV, so we're going to show you behind the scenes of how to make it happen.
Thanks for joining. See ya.